Group life insurance. Okay, so it will be group life insurance, and what they do is like, because all the coverages as mandatorily required by the labor law is there inside group life also. So then group life plus employees liability will take care of that requirement. No. See, term insurance is taken individually. Huh. This covers life, yes, but the not only that one, that varies heavily, that varies. But again, the thing is like, if I'm taking a term insurance, I will go on renewing that. That is my insurance policy. But if my company, currently my company is having a group life insurance, but what if I change the company? So then the entire coverage goes. There is no continuity, nothing. So at that time, if I'm 30 years and I'm going and taking a term insurance, then probably the premium will be maybe hypothetically like 500 dirhams or 450 dirhams. Then it goes on like the same premium till my 70th year. At the same time, I'm going and taking a term insurance at my age of 42. Then my premium will be maybe 1000 dirhams or something like that. And I do need to do medical checkup, that is and all. And then that premium will go up to 75 years or 80 years. Now, when we are covered under group life insurance policy with one A company, I was working with A company. They used to give me group life insurance. Okay, I was covered. I'm happy. Second company, I changed the company. There also group life insurance is there. I'm happy. Third company is telling we will only provide medical insurance. We will not provide group life insurance. So then I'm out of cover. And at that time, I'm going and trying to get an insurance from outside. That will cost me much higher. So I always say, like, if you are planning for term insurance, take it as early as possible. This is clear. Any doubt on the WC case? I'll be asking questions at the end. Sorry. Limit, we can, I mean, you can set. Yeah. So then the contractor will be liable or the insured will be liable. So insurance company will pay up to the limit which is mentioned in the policy only. So sometimes there are regulations like JAXA. If you see any company inside JAXA, they mention that they want only 500,000 as employees liability limit. But DMCC, they say they want to have 1 million as the limit for employees liability. So some of the specific authorities ask for some specific limit, but we have seen many of the customers sometimes even come and ask for $2 million limit and all those things. See, as I mentioned, anything we can provide, only the premium thing will get on added. Yeah, yes. Yes. All these rules are stipulated by the laws and right? Yeah, majorly, yeah. Like any other place, the competition going on, any other field, like an insurance company, can they give an additional, say that we are doing this and the other insurance company. So what was that case? See, those are the basic coverages will be the same for all as per the regulation. Now, anything additional, it's as per the insurance company. For example, simple example would be motor insurance. Motor insurance, the law says like third party liability is mandatory here for any motor insurance. So third party liability they provide. And on damage, if you want to take, you can take it up to probably 10 years, 12 years. So the basic coverage is under on damage as well as third parties, like a comprehensive policy will be the same. But some companies offer free services like car registration benefit. It's up to the company. Then some companies provide offer replacement car for 5 days, 7 days. Some companies charge for that. Some companies give it free. It's all like marketing tactics, I would say. Huh? Vouchers also you are getting. I know which company is providing that. Okay.
60% is going under benefit case.
Okay.
So what do you think? What my conversation here is really go over it and just taking the race for into the benefit case. And that how was fighting.
Okay.
So what do you think? You should cover the whole 100% employees.
Ideally, it should cover 100% employee. Why? Because I'll tell you. See, if I'm a accountant, I'm going to the I'm going for my work. See, we always believe like, okay, they are working inside the office. Risk is very low. Yes, risk is very low, and that's why we charge premium less for admin employees. But now, for he turns on the computer, there's an electric shock, and something happens to him. Then obviously, who will compensate? So that's the question. So now, no, unless that medical insurance has an extension for work-related accidents. Otherwise, it will not be covered. Yes. See, the basic coverage is for medical expenses. Huh. Okay. And see, if there is any accident in the sense, not road accident or work-related accident. See, one is sickness, then another is accident. Like you, I don't want to say you. Like I normally avoid. ABC person is falling down when he's climbing down the steps at flat. Then he has to get hospitalized, right? Obviously, that is covered. So they will just check if this is coming under work-related accident or traffic accident. They will check the policy. If those things extension is there, if it's not there, then you will not be covered. Only one situation in UAE where hospitalization will be covered other than the normal sickness is like emergency situation. If the doctor is writing this is a life stability situation, then it has to be covered by law. They cannot wait for insurance company's approval or insurance company. I mean, they need not wait. Hospital can proceed and insurance company has to settle. But till the time doctor mentions, life is stabilized. Yes. So, no. See, the policy is issued to the insured. The insured is the employee, sorry, employer, right? So we will have to give only to him. Huh. It's like professional sports, specifically, they say. See, if they are just playing on the ground, like, it's not professional sports, right? It's like just playing for hobby or something like that. Not hobby like time pass or something. That's not a problem for medical insurance, not under this one. So the answer to your question will be like 100% has to be covered under that. Working partners you can take. Only things like if they are owners and they are not doing any specific. Still, then if you're working, that's not. See again. Whatever you tell the insurance company, tell us like we will go as per that one only. So you're working and you might be taking salary also, right? Simple. So basically at the time of any claim, they will ask for the salary letter. So if you are able to provide salary letter, that means you're working there and taking salary. Problem solved. See, contract letter and all we normally ask, the payroll we ask, the salary letter we ask. Now these are some, yeah. See, how will you prove that you fainted because of work-related pressure? See that normally Camera is there. Normally that should go under medical insurance because it's not a work-related accident. Otherwise, doctor has to specifically write that this person fainted due to work-related pressure. Agree. No, that is why for the current medical insurance, if you know about that, like mandatory 6 coverages or 6 changes has been asked to be done by government or DHA for all the insurance policies, and psychiatric treatment is one of them. I'm not joking. Like seriously, they have. Okay, so these are some scenarios and claims. So one is design phase error. Here, architect's miscalculation leads to structural defect. So that claim is covered under professional indemnity, as we already discussed, and covers costs for redesign, repairs, as well as legal fees. All these three will be covered under the insurance policy.
What's the law say? What's the value of policy has to be there? Like law says for something or employees.
Which policy we are talking about? PI? No, PI is totally up to the contractor or architect who are taking the insurance.
So law is silent on that.
Law doesn't, I mean, this is not related to any of the basic law other than, see, I think FIDIC contract, there are some requirements, right? So that has to be obviously, and it should be as per the FIDIC that law or that contract terms. That's it.
What happened to that? Like, actually,
who was responsible? I understand your company was doing that insurance, right?
No, my friend was staying there.
Yeah. So means when that comes to an accident, like and the structural damage has happened, who will pay for the repair? It is the architect or the designer or the contractor who has done the work. If it is, my understanding is that was because of a structural design problem. So the repair cost will be covered under this insurance or what?
See, the structural cost or the claim amount that should be borne by the designer in that case. Because if they are able to prove that this is a structural design error, now that policy would have that building, as far as I know, it was like 5 years or 6 years old. So if the policy would have had the ERP for 10 years or 8 years, then that can be claimed under the insurance policy. I don't think they had that much. As far as I know, the owner paid for that repairs. They can actually go behind the contractor, and contractor can sue the architect also. Ultimately, the architect will end up paying that. Yeah.
The PA, usually the PA designer is saying that when he asked the warranty as well the contract 10 years or something, and during the TOC, by issuing the TOC, the PA insurer is denying to give the 10 years warranty at the CBA. He's saying every year we'll review the policy, we'll review the insurance. What will be the reason behind that?
Okay, so they will be most probably they will be having an annual PI policy, just like I mentioned. Annual PI policies are taken by the company when there are a lot of projects and they don't want to have that administrative hassle of insuring each project separately. So what they will tell the insurance companies like, I have 10 projects in a year. You give me an annual PI policy. So there will be a total limit as well as aggregate limit. And for each project, this aggregate limit or the total limit will apply equally. But for all these 10 projects, the total limit will be that aggregate limit only. Okay, if it's 10 million, there are 10 projects. If claim happens on all the 10 projects also, then the total limit will be maybe $10 million or something like that. That's it. But they can take this so that they keeps on renewing. So when they, as the time they keeps on renewing, that all the projects which are ongoing also have the same coverage which is going on. And in that annual policy also, it will be mentioned policy period for maximum this duration plus ERP of 10 years. Then as soon as the takeout certificate or handover is done, then this ERP will start for each of the projects. So that, but in that case also, they can actually, you can ask for a project specific certificate. They can provide.
How will ensure that the company will remain until the 10 years. Some of the companies before 10 years also will shut down. And how main contractor will protect by himself against the PA insurance? Is there any?
That's a very dicey question. But here in this market or India specifically, IRDA is there. Here, central bank is here. None of the companies, even if they are planning to close down, they will be asked to be taken over from by some other company. If they know that there are policies which are running for long time, they cannot just cut that. So, I mean, till the time central bank or the authorities are handling that, we don't have to worry about that.
And one more, before issuing the TOC, some substantial completion, employer wants to utilize that substantial completion activities. Like example, lifts is there. Before issuing the TOC, the lifts will be used for the end users who will be visitors. If anything happened before issuing the TOC, against the lifts, it will come under workman compensation or any other.
So, who is using the lift? The workers or outside people?
All like outside people, even inside the construction, employers also.
So what you're talking about is like part of the project which has been handed over or put to use.
No, it's a testing and commissioning done for the lifts, but TOC is not issued to the main contractor.
Then it come under contractor solvents policy and
No, then one other case, what happened? The same scenario has happened. Then the insurance policy what said, the lift it is not for the construction. It is only under operation only it was affected. So it will not come under the workman compensation.
see, ideally, whatever has been completed, so it has, if you are putting it to use, then you will have to inform the insurance company. Okay, because without a TOC, you are not, you should not be putting that to use, right? So it is against the law first thing. And if you are using that for some specific reasons, a genuine reason, then you will have to inform the insurance company, take the company's consensus, like, okay, this is okay, or they will say this is not okay. Because recently one of the case which has come to us is like, there's a school work which was going on. I was personally handling that one, and they actually, without the taking out certificate or something, they started using that one of the rooms, which is not possible. So they asked for an extension of the policy, then we had to deny that. Because if somebody is there, then the third party liability or the source, like possibility of injury becomes higher. So we cannot take that risk. And it should be handed over or put to use only after the completion and properly removing all the things. Okay. You were asking something? Okay. Some insured parties. So another scenario which I have mentioned is equipment theft. So this will be covered under contractors, plant and machinery insurance. Scenario 4 is delay in project completion.
Can we pause the insurance at any time?
In contractors or risk. Standstill, we can do that.
For example, if there's a project which goes like 2 years, they goes on construction. By any chance, if the project got hold, and maybe we start after 1 or 2 years. So these 2 years, can he hold the insurance?
We can hold the insurance. Again, the period of holding and reason and those things you will have to inform the insurance company. The technical team will review what is the reason why and what all.
And as a client, the client is holding the project for some reason, maybe financial reason or something.
See, that's what it will not be a straight yes or no. It will be based on some condition. So we have seen such cases where they came to us and told we will be doing this thing. Okay, so we took the details. Then our technical team does review and they will put some conditions or warranties. So the site has to be kept like this, and regular maintenance has to be done on whatever has been done. To avoid theft, you have to put somebody there. So these type of warranties and conditions will be put on that basis. And
What if the client removes the contractor, he stops the work, and until further notice?
if the contractor is removed, then there is no point of.
Removed in the sense like he just stops the work immediately.
Okay.
And there is no notification to the contractor when this will be start or whether he will be continuing the project. So
So that's
he can
okay.
stop the insurance, yeah, the contractor, or he can pause it. What is the better?
We can pose it, but again, it will depend upon the technical review and case to case basis. Because we will have to analyze, we don't know what is the risk we are going to foresee there. And if that is unattended, like something happens there, then we will end up paying the claim also. So for that posing part is possible, but subject to terms and conditions which will be
Which one will
implied.
be good, posting or canceling, stopping the?
See, if there is, you are sure that there is not going to have any
Notification.
work.
We don't have any notification like you will start next year, 1 year.
So that's okay. That's okay. See, you can just inform the insurance company. Like this is there will be a tentative date anyway. Initially, they will give. Maybe they will extend, right? So you can inform the insurance company, and then the risk will be underwriting in that way. Because that time anyway, work is not happening.
I think one thing related to that one is question. See, normally this insurance will be provided based on some contract. I believe this based on some contract, is it? So if the contract doesn't say something like that, I mean this insurance can be stopped or paused or something like that. That particular liability will be with that particular entity. So I don't think it is possible unless the ultimate, as per the contract, if he is allowed to do like that, then only he can do. Otherwise, it will be a risk for them.
Agree. So yeah, next is questions to you actually. So you can
Maybe one thing. I think we can just complete the presentation,
No.
then we will go.
Done with the
It's done?
presentation.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, fine.
I wanted to keep it short, like otherwise itself some of the people are feeling sleepy, it seems.
One doubt actually. So suppose an accident happened at site, the crane which you were saying before.
Okay.
What is the first step to be done for the insurance claim?
So you'll have to inform the insurance company immediately. That is the
By
first step
what
for
means?
any
It's an
claim.
email or it's a letter? How it should be like normally?
See, if email should be enough, but immediately you'll have to inform. You should not delay that because see if it's anyway damage has happened, right? So then as soon as possible we'll have to appoint the surveyors. So we'll have to appoint before you remove all those things and move that. So that's why I told like as soon as possible you will have to inform. Immediate basis you will have to inform to the insurance company. That is the intimation of the claim, and immediately we will appoint the surveyor. And you will the client normally mentions like we have to remove this and restart the work. So then as per the requirement, like we will assign the specific surveyor and he does the survey.
And if it's a theft, then you might require a police report, right?
Yes. Non-traceable report they will have to submit. So then there's no point of like we coming and surveying the premises because it's all depend upon the police report.
Let me ask one question.
Ask the maximum question because after that I will start asking questions.
Suppose I have taken one. I'm from employees team. Okay, I had visited the site and I caused an accident. Due to my fault, there was some accident happened.
Sorry. You are from the employees
Side.
Okay.
Okay. While visiting the site, I was the reason for that particular accident.
Okay.
Some damage happened. Suppose the waiver of subrogation is not there. Okay. So can the insurance company sue me?
Yes.
If waiver of subrogation is there,
They cannot.
they cannot.
So waiver of subrogation specifically, one of the major companies in UAE, they ask for waiver of subrogation towards principals, its employees, its subsidiaries, its two more. When I was used to be in operations and underwriting, I used to see that, and basically we cannot go behind anybody and take that amount. Whoever is even having a distant relationship with the employer. So they normally put that the same. It's a very valid question. That is why specifically they mention it's not only about the employer assets, but their principals, employees, subcontractors, their contractors. So that is why principals normally ask for putting waiver of subrogation to avoid such situations.
Okay, and another thing, uh, a project, third-party insurance is there, and the surrounding properties. Another construction is going on the neighbor plot
By different.
by
principle.
different. Okay. So something happens due to, I mean, their action.
Okay, to us.
Okay, to us. Okay. But the same site, it is related with the same employer. So he is having some kind of favor or subrogation clause inside this one. Suppose.
Okay.
Okay.
You have prepared this question earlier, right?
Okay. So something happened to our side due to their action.
Okay.
Okay. Or vice versa. I mean, something happened to their side. So surrounding, as per the third party and surrounding protection, we are
Claim is
protected.
stable, yeah.
Okay. So again, this employer, the insurance company, he can sue us if this waiver of subrogation is not there.
Yes.
Okay. But if that clause is there, even if that is a different site,
They can.
they cannot.
They cannot. Again, the same answer which I mentioned. If the waiver of subrogation is only against principal for the employer, then they can sue the contractor working there, right? Okay. Now, if they are mentioning in that clause that waiver of subrogation against principal, their contractors, their subcontractors, their employees, then the insurance company will have to just pay out the claim. So specifically, insurance companies will give the waiver of subrogation very diligently, checking like who is the employer, what is the work, is there any other work insured at least with us in the nearby surroundings and sort of things. So waiver of subrogation is not something which is like blindly given. So these clauses are seems to be very simple because so
We need to declare the employer, if the adjacent property belongs to the same employer.
see here, it's not like it might not be third party.
Because if the property, adjacent property belongs to the same employer, and if something happens to that property, it could be an intention.
They are doing that.
Insurer can mention like that, like it could be an intentionally the employer did like that. So to safeguard the employer side, it's better to declare when we go for the third party, saying that the adjacent property belongs to.
See, you have to see the definition of third party. So if the adjacent property is owned by the principal itself, it will not be considered as a third party claim. So that is why we have PSP, principal existing and surrounding property. That has to be declared under PSP. Because third party is like something owned by a third party, third person. Not the contractor, not the principal, not the architect, not the subcontractor.
But if the contract doesn't define for this PSP, how the contractor will go for such insurance? Or that?
No, they will have to. See, principal's property adjacent, if it's adjacent or inside the site, it cannot be considered as a third party property. So it has to be coming under the principal existing and surrounding property. Because it's not a third party, right? It's first or second party, like.
Yeah, it's normally happening in a development where adjacent plots belong to the same employer
Same employer.
and with the different contractors and under different contracts. One more question I have,
Yeah.
like, could you please, after the session, I don't know whether you covered design liability insurance.
No, I have not covered.
Because
definitely-
it's a new insurance now in UAE. So could you please explain on that?
Okay, see, I will not go deep into that because I have not handled hands-on on that insurance so much. The thing is like that's a specialized insurance area, and it's rare in UAE actually. In some countries, it is very common, but here in this industry, it is very rare. So it is called IDI. Sorry.
It is mandatory here.
Mandatory, okay. But even then, we are not seeing that much of request because contractors normally take PI with ERP of 10 years. Basically, IDA is instead of liability, IDA is like it's like an odd damage of vehicle, like material damage, and it is taken by the principal, not contractor. Contractors doesn't take destiny liability insurance. So that's the reason. I'll keep it for next session because I don't want to give any wrong information on my assumptions to you. So okay, questions. Okay.
One more question. Run-off insurance cover. Have you done anything on that now?
Yeah, it normally comes. Yes.
Does it come as a standalone insurance or which insurance is it next to?
See, it can be attached to multiple insurances. See, as I mentioned, PI annual cover, then run-off cover can be given on that one. And if it's attached to annual CR policy for the existing project, run-off covers can be provided.
Okay, but it's not the primary interest of the principal to have a run-off cover, right? It is probably the employer's interest or the end user's insurance to interest to have a run-off cover, right?
Not end users,
Basically, run-off.
contractors, I would say.
Run-off is to cover the risk of closing a company.
Yeah.
So if I'm running a company and if somebody who is availing my service is trying to cover that risk of my company getting closed, right?
No. See, it is applicable when you are, see, for example, you are running an architect firm. Now you have closed down the firm, and then later on, just like what we mentioned that some claim is coming, and then if it's a claims made policy without this applicability of run-off cover, then you will be in trouble. But if that is there, then it will go on and cover till whatever the period we have mentioned in that policy.
So it is not a standard insurance cover which is included in the policies.
No.
It has to be specifically requested, right?
Yes. Yes. We have to. Okay.
If anyone entered into the site without contract, if something happened for the person during the site visit, under which insurance will cover?
Third party liability.
The third party don't have any contract with the main principal or contractor.
No problem. See, because that is the third party, right? If they are having a contract with the employer, then they are not third party. They are part of the contract. So they comes under the insured party. Because in the policy document, if you have seen and/or, you have seen so many names. And normally, main contractor's name, architect's, engineer's name, consultant names is mentioned. And what I have seen is and/or all the subcontractors. That is what is mentioned. So any subcontractor is actually an insured. So they cannot be considered as a third party. So somebody coming without contract, maybe they have come for meeting somebody. We don't know.
Site visits. Most
Site
probably
visit, yes.
before contract, they want to visit the site. And
So till the time they don't have contract, they will be considered as a third party. So now can I start?
Or any other questions?
Okay.
PI insurance, which is a suppose a contractor is coming with a PI insurance for the design elements part of the contract, and he is coming with his consultant insurance, which is a generic one. How we can
General means
ensure
PI insurance.
PI insurance that the company own or having that company having it like for their design things.
Okay.
How we can ensure the project is covered with the details stipulated in the contract conditions of contract.
You will have to ask them for a project specific certificate. See, if anybody is having an annual policy covering all their projects, all the insurance companies will issue project specific certificates on request. That is normal. So you have to ask, we want a project specific certificate where the project value, project name, location, project value, duration, everything is mentioned. So that you have to ask.
Okay. In that case, if, the project specific needs say 10 million, and that generic insurance is 5 million only. Then in that scenario, do he has to increase the?
Yes. See, if as per your recommend, you want them to have a 10 million insurance, you can inform them to take a 10 million insurance. So what they normally do is like for specific project, they will the insurance technical team will enhance ask for an additional premium, and only for this project they will give an enhanced limit. sorry, or else, oh, or else they will take a different policy. So it's totally up to the client and their insurance company.
So that we can insist.
Yeah, we should insist actually, because otherwise, what is the scope of work given in the?
Because
the
normally the
policy, we
contractors
don't
will
know.
make excuse on that case, saying that this is our generic one, which we are using the part of the industry. So they are making such excuse. That's why I asked. And like it's difficult for them to. Yes, they can give a certificate of insurance from the insurer defining the project details. However, it is not covering that exact amount what stipulated in the contract.
No, that becomes very important. Now, if you are looking for 10 million cover, if they have a 5 million cover policy, that will not work.
Yes.
So you should ask for that one, the policy
So
copy.
there is like the insurer can enhance for the enhance that policy pertaining to this particular contract and give a certificate of insurance.
That will again, that will depend upon what type of project and how the insurance company technical team underwrites that. Because if a policy is 5 million limit, then they are asking for 10 million, still okay. But if they are asking for
Do they
25
need to
million,
have a different policy, or it is on the same policy? Can they
if it's a small difference, same policy we can endorse.
and that to endorse with the
Only
project-
for this project.
Okay. That's possible.
That is possible. Like again, it will depend upon the other factors. So if it's a 5 million policy and if you are asking for 25 million, probably the insurance company doesn't want to do it for that one project. Sometimes it depends upon the risk what they are taking.
Okay. Thank you.
There's a CPM coverage for most of, under which insurance will we get covered? Under the car, or is there a preference under which it will get covered?
See, what it will depend upon what is the risk, or if you are intimating the claim under which one. Like if you want to, as a customer to or insured, if you want to intimate the claim under CPM policy, then we will put the claim under CPM policy. But if you have a different CPM policy, why you want to insure that under the CR?
It need not be.
Need not be.
Okay.
So because you will be paying double premium, so there is no point of doing that actually. Either if you have a CPM, then better to do it under CPM. Better to do it under CPM, that would say, because if you have a whole lot of contracting equipments.
Thank you.
I think that's all, so you can.
Okay, so questions from my part. So these are some scenarios of claims. I just want you guys to tell me, not assume, not guess. I need to tell you to tell me like which policy or what extension will cover this. First is crane faults due to ground instability. No, no, no. Car. At least one answer. No, see, CPM, if it damages the crane itself, yes, that is covered. That should be covered under CPM. But if it falls down due to ground instability, it is. Ground instability. That's why I mentioned ground instability. See, if it's because of design problem, yes, PI, and they will have to sue the designer. But
It's a professional fees that is taken over in the car. So under that,
no, a professional fee is covered when if any claim happens and you will have to spend additional amount for putting a professional to for additional designing or something like that. That is covered under professional fee. Okay, next is architect sued for faulty HVAC design. Okay. Imported chiller damaged at port. Oh, very good. Post handover water leakage. Nice. Maintenance or defect liability period. property holders is like different. This is like after related to contract.
If it is design problem, PI is
DLP period, yeah. No, this is coming under maintenance period. So, see, it will cover.
It should be building insurance or if it is any design like a
Yes.
PA.
All the answers are correct. So building, if it's like what he said, if it's a breakage of water pipes or leakage due to that one, it can be covered under property insurance. But at the same time, even if the company pays the amount, property insurance company will pay the amount, their surveyors will check what was the reason for this one. If the reason is found to be construction issues, then that company will go to the construction or contractor or designer and sue them. Then their contractors or this policy will pay that claim, or subrogation rights will be served. So rather than that, if during the maintenance visits, the contractor themselves find that, okay, this was due to our mistake, then it can be directly covered under avoiding all these things. They can be directly covered under the CR policy. If somebody proves that this is due to the contractor's issues. See, if nobody is able to prove that it's a design issue, then property or risk insurance has to pay. There's no other go. No, not as per my knowledge. I'll have to check with my interesting indeed. So I'll check with my claims person also. I'll try to get some any of the claims handled in such way. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Client supplied material is there. Okay, first point I will clarify. Client supplied materials has to be specifically declared under the sum insured, it can be insured. Okay. Now, second, what you're telling is like there is a contractor and there is a subcontractor. Okay. Now, because of the subcontractor issue, this material is getting damaged. So, in CR, there is a clause called cross liability clause. Okay. Not insured. Okay.
What the law is saying that since the testimony states not claim the car.
Because it has to be specifically insured. Because where is that? Where is the premium charge for that material?
But as a all project contracts are below that, whatever covers the particular material supplies by they stated as considered as included.
I need to see the policy. See, if that is included with an extension, then it has to be covered. Under car policy only. So in that question, there is one more point. What if there are 3 subcontractors? Because of one subcontractor, there is something happening to the item of another subcontractor. What will happen? Everything is under main contractor, but okay, so main contractor is there and there is a subcontractor, and because of one of the work done by subcontractor, something is happening to the main work which is done by the main contractor, main building. For example, if they are building a warehouse and a subcontractor comes for some small work, because of there some things like damage happens to the main one, all are covered under the same insurance, right? So how it will be handled? What do you think? Sorry? No, that's not required actually here. They might be having some car policy, but if they are already covered under this car policy, then there's no point of them taking another car policy. Yes, cross liability clause. Cross liability clause is very important. I mean, it's normally considered like very silly thing, but when some claim comes, it becomes very important. Why? Because as per cross liability clause, even though all these parties involved are considered as insured, but in case of any claims, this type of claim, they will be considered as like they are separately having separate insurance policies. So any third party claim, we cannot call it as third party, but again, at that instance, we have to call it as third party. Any third party claim which is occurring from one subcontractor to contractor or another subcontractor, this will be considered as a separate claim and it will be paid. So cross liability clause MRE 001, I think that is very important. So next is accidental death of worker. Second part I will ask. So WC. And what if he's a staff on temporary hire and subcontractors staff? I think I have already explained that. So post an accident, a worker sues the contractor for not providing proper safety gears. Precast panels stored at a supplier site in Sharjah are damaged due to flooding. Yeah, offsite storage. While demolishing and all wing, the vibrations crack the adjoining structures still in use. Car, which extension? Yes, PSP, principal existing and surrounding properties. Material cost increases during construction. Sorry? No. Okay, this is one clause we didn't discuss. There is a clause called escalation clause. So you can actually take the escalation clause at the start of the policy. You can mention 10% or 15%. So the cost increases due to the while time goes on, the cost increases, right? So up to 15% that will be considered and while doing any claim. 15%. You don't have, we will not charge the premium as such initially, but it's included. Like up to 15%, escalation will be considered for settling. While drilling, the contractor accidentally damages a telecom duct which was not as per the drawing provided. No, car only. Which extension? No, there is an extension called underground services. And underground services specifically will be applicable when the contractor will be able to prove that they have taken necessary steps and they have taken the drawings from whichever authority, DEVA or whichever authority it is, on what is going, and then proper testing has been done where the pipe or cables are there. And even after that, the drawing was wrong, the pipe was going, should go that way, but it went this way, and then something happened, then it will be covered. After a partial collapse, engineers need to redesign the foundation system. Car, which extension? We already discussed. Yes, subcontractor causes damage to the main contractor's completed section. Cross liability. So that's it from my side. I wanted, once I start talking about insurance, then I want to keep on. I was like, with very difficulty, I was confining myself to make it short. I hope I didn't bore you. So any other questions we can discuss, or if you want to discuss anything specific, we can discuss.
While taking the car policy, we are adding DLP period, policy, your contract duration plus DLP.
Yeah.
What will we cover in the DLP? Like now we discussed that during the DLP, if something is default to the design, it will go to the design. It means what it will cover under the DLP maintenance cover as per the car policy insurance.
See, same. It's like the maintenance extension. We call it as DLP or maintenance extension. So basically, whatever has happened or some damages which they are finding out or which is coming out later during that DLP period due to the construction work which was not done properly or some other defects, then it will be covered.
That is what it means. Contractor is not executed properly, then it will comes under the car policy. Defects liability will pay the amount, or contractor will pay the amount.
No, see, if they have not done the work properly or because of the damage due to the work, other than design. If design, it will automatically go to PI. But if due to the work, anything is happening, something which is occurring because of the way it was done, then it will come under the CI policy. So it can be found out during the DLP
Even
or
if the
maintenance
contractor's
period.
default also
Yes.
comes under.
As per FIDI contract, which is being followed in this part of the world mostly, whatever